This is old school PFT PM, where I just pull up the questions with no advance notice. So God only knows what I'm about to find here. This is like opening that Christmas present that you don't know whether it's something you wanted or a pair of used socks. Do you think this is from PFT PM Posse, by the way, do you think Judge Robinson is more likely to completely erase the Watson punishment rather than reduce it because she knows that Goodell will undo her decision if it's reduced? I doubt she needs this job. Well, people love assignments like this, first of all. Let me just say. She doesn't want to lose this job. She doesn't want to get fired by the league or the union as the end result of her first assignment after 2 years of not doing anything in this role as disciplinary officer. She's a retired federal judge. She's working for a firm. It's good for her firm to be able to say, oh, did you know? We've got the NFLPA disciplinary officer as part of our team. I mean, that kind of stuff impresses people. That kind of stuff attracts clients. That's just reality. Oh, well, I'm impressed. Oh, well, I like the cut of your jib, sir. I'm going to retain your firm to provide services to my large and wealthy corporation. So, yeah, she wants this job. Not that she needs the money that comes from it. She likes the extra boost that it gives to her and her firm. Helps her earn more money elsewhere. And it just would be embarrassing to get fired after one case, right? And that's the way the CBA reads. After a minimum 2-year term, either side can end the relationship with the disciplinary officer on 120 days notice. So I guarantee you, 2 ways she gets fired by the NFL as a result of this case. One, she declares open season on any documents, text messages, testimony, whatever, as it relates to this effort to prove that owners have gotten a slap on the wrist or less for misconduct. 2, she finds no discipline whatsoever. Deshaun Watson did nothing wrong, no violation of the personal conduct policy, cutting off the ability of Roger Goodell to impose whatever discipline he would want. She does either of those things, she's getting fired by the NFL. Guaranteed. So, yeah, she doesn't need the job. She wants the job. And it really would be a blow to the ego if, at the end result of her first assignment, she ends up being fired. Now, she can get into a PR battle if she wants to, but again, you got to think about future clients, too. It's not a good look for lawyers to start getting into PR battles with people who have paid them to do their legal work, and there's a disagreement about how that work was done. Another one for PFT Posse. How can the NFL, defend the different standards applied to players versus oligarchs when personal conduct policy clearly says it's held to a higher standard? I don't know. They should have never put it. I'm repeating myself, but I'm answering the question too. They should have never put that language in the personal conduct policy. What does it prove? You're writing a check that you have to honor at some point. I think in hindsight, they probably wish they just had a different personal conduct policy for people who aren't in the union. Another one from PFT PM Posse. Why do the Browns fans have to support and circle the wagons for Deshaun Watson? I'm a Cowboys fan, and I regularly criticize / stop watching their games when I disagree with their positions on certain football topics. Well, I'm not saying it's all Browns fans, but some Browns fans find themselves in a spot where they feel like, hey, look, this is my team. This is us. I'm supporting my team. My team has made this decision. I support it. I want Deshaun Watson to be the quarterback. We haven't had a quarterback like this ever since Otto Graham. Let's get on board with the idea that Deshaun's our guy. And now all these people are attacking our guy. They're attacking him. They're attacking us. They're attacking me. We're going to attack back. We don't like this. I get it. I think it's wrong for the Browns to have put fans in that situation. This is a human nature response to the way a situation unfolds for someone who is already a fan, short for fanatic of the Cleveland Browns. So I understand why Browns fans are reacting the way they are. And I have to just shrug at it when they come at me and say, I understand why you're doing what you're doing. It's not your fault. It's Jimmy Haslam's fault, and it's Deshaun Watson's fault. It's Watson's fault for engaging in the behavior. It's Haslam's fault for not saying you got to settle these cases before you become a member of this team. And it's Watson's fault for not settling the cases before he became a member of the team, because that put the burden at that point on the Browns fans who are inclined to defend him and the team no matter what, to defend him and the team no matter what. Neil watches PFT with the USFL Championship airing this weekend and being announced that it will have a second season. Do you think it has a real shot to continue on indefinitely? Too early to be determined, Neil. XFL is coming back next year, and it's coming back 2 months earlier. Is there enough space for two? I mean, this is the first spring league since the original XFL, not affiliated, current USFL, excuse me, since the original USFL to make it to a second season. The first XFL, dead during the first year. XFL 2.0, dead during the first year. Not due to anything they did, it was the pandemic. AAF implodes during the first year. So this is a crawl, walk a little more confidently, race walk, jog lightly, jog aggressively, run situation for the USFL. There's a long way to go here. It is a multi-year process, and I think the key is, will the legalized betting market expand sufficiently enough to have enough people who want to bet on USFL games and therefore have skin in the game and want to watch them? That's the key. California is trying to get legalized gambling in place. Florida, Texas, get some of the big states to join all the other states. At some point, hey, we got to bet. We want to bet. We want to bet on football. There's no football to bet on. Oh, wait, here's football. Here's XFL. Here's USFL. It basically becomes like a table at a casino. It's an open table where you can go and bet. That's the key. Can they survive long enough for the legalized betting demand to drive the interest, where the numbers go up, the ratings go up, the money goes up? That's the key, in my opinion. You'll watch this PFT again, apples to apples, of what we know about each situation. And in light of the Deshaun Watson leaked suspension of at least 1 year, what length of suspension would Kraft, Snyder, and Jones have faced if they were truly held at the same standard? We don't know enough about what they did, how they violated the rules to come to that final conclusion. I think this is a brilliant effort by the union, not to try to get these guys in trouble. The idea is to minimize the punishment that would be ultimately imposed on Deshaun Watson. You'll watch this PFT with a football question arising out of the Deshaun Watson situation. Considering that Watson likely will not play this year, which team wins the AFC North? It's hard not to say the Bengals, but the Ravens are good. The Steelers are going to be better than people realize. And depending upon who the Browns get to play quarterback, they're good enough to be competitive too. Dr. J144, if you're a player on the Browns, are you angry that you'll likely waste a year or two of your career now playing with a backup quarterback? No offense to Jacoby Brissett. Zero chance to win a Super Bowl this year. Ownership traded for a guy who is unavailable and simultaneously made Baker angry. It's still to be determined. You know, there's a thought out there. Maybe they end up with Jimmy Garoppolo, and maybe they do. If they find out sooner than later Watson's out for the whole year, maybe they do. So there's still a chance for this to work out. And, you know, there's a promise that Watson's coming eventually. NFL leads. Have you seen the Paul McCartney gig at 80 years old on Saturday? You should. It's incredible. I have not seen it. I will check it out. Neil watches PFT. How long do you think Snyder can essentially hide on his super yacht without appearing before Congress? This fascinates me. And I keep checking the time because we're having lunch here. The PFT crew is in town, and I'm supposed to meet them for lunch. I'm going to be tardy. I'm going to be late. Hopefully they'll get started without me, and I can catch up when I get there. But this whole super yacht thing, it occurred to me. I was on the Score this morning with Mully and Ha, and they asked me about this issue with Daniel Snyder not accepting service of the subpoena. And there's this semantics argument between the U.S. House Oversight Committee. He won't accept service. He refuses to accept service. And Snyder's spokesperson saying he's not refusing to appear. Well, there's a middle ground there. He's not refusing to appear. I just haven't been subpoenaed yet. Well, I haven't accepted service. I'm on my yacht in the middle of nowhere. It's great to have a super yacht. I thought it was just a trophy. No, it's got a functional purpose. When the heat gets a little too hot, you get on your yacht, you pull up the anchor, and you go out to international waters, and you're untouchable. No summons, no subpoena, nothing. Nothing. You don't have to worry about a process server showing up on your super yacht when you're out to sea. So brilliant by Daniel Snyder and maybe other owners who have a super yacht for the same reason. A-Red Zone UK, a.k.a. Tom Marshall. Did you take a photo of the PFT gang together like when all the head coaches get together? We haven't done it yet. Maybe we need to do that tonight. I need to go get an Andy Reid Hawaiian shirt for the photo. It will be not nearly as many people. It's just 5, but maybe we'll do that tonight. That's a good thought, Tom. All right, I got to wrap this up. Old Top 97, as a Texans fan, it's been a rough 3 years. Can you outline the difference between a well-run franchise and a dysfunctional one? How may a franchise get out of being dysfunctional? That is too complicated of a question to answer right here. Let me take that one under advisement, maybe add it to a future PFT/OT or write about it at some point. I do have some thoughts. It's just not conducive to this setting, especially as I'm trying to wrap this up. Manuel Villa, aka Old Top 97. How would a potential injury to Watson in the offseason, preseason impact any suspension? Would he have to be cleared to return before serving, or can his suspension take place while recovering from the injury? Yeah, I mean, if he would get injured in training camp, if he tears an ACL, for example, and is out for the year, and he gets suspended for the year, he just doesn't get paid. His contract gets pushed back a year. I don't think it factors into anything if he would get injured. I don't think they would say, well, you know, the year you were injured doesn't count. We're going to suspend you for another year. I think it would just be treated as simultaneous coincidence. At Leedale, UK, hello from England, with Deshaun Watson here and just starting. How far can the NFLPA go? If there is clear evidence he gets punished way more harshly than owners, can they go to the real courts saying the NFL has broken its own rules? That is the challenge here, and that's what makes it very difficult. And I need to wrap it on this. There's some other questions here, but if I didn't get to your question, ask it again tomorrow. What was the point? Oh, I think the NFLPA understands it is very difficult to go to court. The Tom Brady case, which ultimately failed, succeeded in federal court in Manhattan, failed at the U.S. Appeals Court for the Second Circuit, which has jurisdiction over New York and one or two other states. It became very clear through that opinion that the NFL's process can't be challenged in court. That's why Ezekiel Elliott in 2017 tried to file suit in Texas before the NFL could invoke jurisdiction in Manhattan, which would be subject, and this is what I was talking about earlier, past decisions become precedent, unless they don't, and they tie the hands of the court. What would have been argued, and what ultimately was argued in New York, was, hey, the Brady case controls this one, there's nothing that can be done. Ezekiel Elliott tried to avoid that and initially was successful. But then the problem was he filed his lawsuit too early. So as long as the NFL has its paperwork ready and is ready to go to court to enforce its decision and files there in New York, as soon as it issues its decision, it's untouchable. The only sliver, the only chance to try to beat the NFL would be to pick a forum where you think the law is favorable to you and get the case filed the instant the decision is made by the NFL and before the NFL has filed its lawsuit. It's basically a race to the courthouse. Or you're going to be parked at the clerk's office and you're ready to get your case stamped as filed, if they still do it that way, the moment the decision is issued. And who's got the advantage there? If it comes down to that race, who's got the advantage? The advantage goes to the person who's making the decision. They can do it simultaneously. The moment the decision is issued, boom. They can't beat me. You can't beat me if you're trying to win the race. Hey, decision's entered. All right, file the lawsuit to defend the decision. So that's the problem. You can't win. And whatever happens as a result of this process, I mean, they can try to go to court if they want to. Very slim chance of winning. So we'll see how it plays out. That's it for today. Appreciate the questions. Appreciate your time. We'll do it again tomorrow. And if you asked a question today, ask it again tomorrow. It looked like there were some good ones there. Maybe I'll just go back and select the ones from today that I want to try to answer tomorrow, if I remember to do it. Tomorrow morning, who knows, it may be dragging a little bit. The PFT crew is going to be here, and there may be some alcoholic beverages consumed. But I will try to drink in moderation because my duty is to you. Tomorrow, PFT/OT. We'll see you then. Have a great day.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.